Who should be running your social media? Well, definitely not you, the CEO. I know that a lot of small business owners are doing their own social media. And it's important. It should be getting done, but it shouldn't be getting done by you. So, first of all, what I want you to know is, and you know this already, I don't even think I need to say this, but I will, is social media is a full time position. There is so much to be done there if you're doing it well. And I want to make sure that you, the business owner, are spending time on your zone of genius and your top priorities. So I've mentioned before, there are three critical areas in your business. It is marketing, you have operations, and you have fulfillment. Social media is just a fraction of your marketing strategy. So, today we're going to be really zeroing in on the power of having somebody help you. It doesn't have to be somebody full time, but even somebody 5 hours a week, right? So, we're going to be talking about what that looks like and then how you can support that position, getting them up and running to get a return on their investment with a clear and intentional path with their KPIs, key performance indicators, right? So you know what success looks like. And I will say too, I actually just jumped on a call with somebody who is looking at helping us with something on social media. And I could tell as they were talking, a lot of it was trying to get me like big numbers, more followers, viral videos. And I said, okay, so just to be clear, a viral video is great, but what I'm looking for is clients from social media. We were looking specifically with something with LinkedIn. We are doing really well on Instagram and Facebook, and we wanted to take that strategy and then take that strategy to LinkedIn. So we had looked at a LinkedIn consultant to help us. And I wasn't completely clear on, are they just going to get me subscribers and likes and comments, or is it going to turn into sales? Because when you do social media correctly, you should be getting leads that turn into sales. And the whole idea here is that when you hire a social media manager or a consultant or whoever, okay. The whole idea is that when you start to run these posts, you write these posts, you put out content and copy, it should be generating income, which is how you pay for that social media manager. Okay. I could be going on just a much bigger rant and I don't want to do that. So let's keep going. So, first of all, it's no exaggeration to say how long social media can take. It can truly be a full-time job. We really do have a full-time social media manager here at Foot Traffic, okay? There is a lot to keep up with, right? Trends, changing algorithms, different image sizes for every single platform, hashtags, commenting, engaging, like you name it, right? It's an essential part of your successful marketing strategy, okay? But it is not something that is your number one priority as the CEO. Okay. Let me go to the next slide. So here's what I want you thinking about. Bringing on a social media manager means you can have someone who knows what they're doing in this area, keeping up with all of those changes, the trends, the algorithms, you name it, right? Helping you create consistency for your brand, helping you create real content that leads into sales, and keeping up with showing your accounts, getting you more visible in other people's feeds. So, what you can expect when you set up systems the right way, if you're doing social media, okay, but you're not experiencing this, it's because you're missing that system, okay? So, what I want you thinking about is when you do it correctly, you will experience growth. Not when I say growth, yes, I absolutely mean more likes, more comments, more shares, more all the things. Yes. But I'm talking about growth that turns into sales. All right. I always used to ask this question. I used to do this 5-day challenge, and I would always ask on day one, if you stop posting on social media for 7 days right now, like if I made you and part of the challenge, like stop posting on social media, how many of you would notice a difference in your bank account at the end of the 7 days? 99% of the people in the room said, I wouldn't, or I don't even know. Like, I'm not even tracking enough to know. I have no idea. There were a few that said 100%. And I would say that. Like, somebody, I think they said lead pages just got, it was down maybe for like a day yesterday or the day before. I don't use lead pages, so it wasn't an issue for me. But I said to somebody, it made sound like not a big deal, like, oh, lead pages is down. But somebody who's making money with lead pages, selling every single day, that could have been thousands and thousands, sometimes tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of dollars, depending on if somebody had a launch, if somebody had, they did a webinar, right? You name it. One day of not being on social, not being on a certain platform, it should cost you money because when you're actually doing it, you should be making money. All right. So, how many of you, I'm going to ask you right now, if you had to shut down your social media for 7 days, would you notice a difference in your bank account? If the answer is no or I don't know, keep listening. You need to be doing this type of system. Okay, next. A social media manager is there to help with management, both your brand and your community. So, engaging in comments, monitoring inboxes, right? Keeping graphics and messaging in alignment with your brand. Now, my team does not pretend to be me in the DMs. We are both in the DMs serving, because that's what it is, right? We are serving our clients. Sometimes you might get just me, and sometimes it's like, oh, hey, it's Bella from Stacy's team. Hey, it's Anna from Stacy's team, right? They're very open with who is in there. And nobody's like, what? Why is Anna? They're like, hey, thanks, Anna. Like they know we're busy. They know I might be on a call. I might be on this and I can't get back to them, but my team can be there and my team can get back faster. So it's also nice when next week we're going to be at our powerhouse retreat. I will be busy the entire week, nonstop, which means if I was running my social media, I wouldn't be able to answer any of your questions, get you what you need, help support anything, right? But next week, we'll have full management in our inbox when I'm not there. And we will have an influx of questions because when people see our powerhouse mastermind, they always have questions. They want to know, how can I sign up? What are the details? What are the requirements? So our social media manager is able to respond right then and there. So management, and not even just management, but it's customer service, right? Sometimes our customers will reach out through DMs because they have a question. They don't know where to find something, right? And we can direct them to the place they need to go. Okay, next. The next piece is huge, tracking. So, why would tracking be something you want to be doing? Well, this is why. Because, first of all, most people that run their own social media, they have a checklist and it's like post on social, get a reel out, send out an email this week, right? That's there, it's done. In my company, it is not done by posting. That is step one. Step one, we put it out there. Step two, we track and see what did it just do, right? So we look at those metrics, we look at that data, and we decide what should we do next. Because of what we just learned with yesterday's post, where do we go from here? Do we do more of that? Did that not work? Do we have to change it up? Is something starting to fade, right? I always talk about, there's waves in social media. And when you're riding a wave and it's going, like you keep riding it, but at some point the wave starts to fade. Something that you were doing is starting to become less effective. So you've got to figure out, well, what's the next wave to catch? When you track, you have the details, the data, the information to make your next best move. Now, if you don't already have a social media manager on your team, okay, chances are I'm probably not telling you anything new by sharing how beneficial this would be. Like you can feel the stress. You still have to post today, or you have to figure out what you're doing next week, right? But you know that the social media strategy is essentially for staying on top of mind in today's market, right? You've got to be doing that. Now, if anybody wants my specific social media manager job description, comment below SMM or DM me on Instagram if you're listening on the podcast, and we will get that over to you. Here's what I want you to know. You can hire somebody for as little as 5 hours a week, right? Now, here's what I will ask you. If you are the business owner and you're doing your own social media management, I have a feeling you're not spending an hour working on your social media. Okay. But when I say hire somebody for 5 hours a week, people go, well, that's not enough. I'm like, well, it's more than you're already currently doing. So it's going to help, right? And let's be real. When you go to post and write and grab and do all the things, you're not doing it at the level you could be. Right. So you can go and then you can use that information and then repurpose. So what's really cool is we're doing about a reel a day, I believe, on Instagram. I think almost every day we have a reel. So you might be thinking, Stacy, aren't you exhausted? You do a reel a day. I haven't created a reel in a few weeks. We have a bank of, of Instagram reels that they are pulling from over and over and over again. Because remember, the algorithm isn't even showing you half of the stuff. So something that you think is new today, we've had out there for weeks and weeks and weeks, right? Anybody right now that is saying SMM that wants the job description, we've already shared that job description over and over and over. But some people haven't seen it yet because the algorithm does that, right? So you don't have to do as much as you are thinking. It doesn't have to be this full-time position. Now, what I will say is, as you start to scale your business and you start to track and you can see what social media is bringing to your business, you can start to go, there's a return on investment here. So for me, social media was probably something just really small in the beginning. I think I hired like one VA. And then it was I hired kind of a jack of all trades, and she did customer service, and she did a little bit of social media, and she did a little bit of like fulfillment, right? She was in all the things just like I was. And at some point we said, okay, wow, there's something here. What if we did hire somebody full time, right? So it's a process. And it's a process that I can decide is worth my attention and my energy. So when I am making money from Instagram or Facebook or wherever, right? I can justify let's spend the money because we're getting a return on our investment. Where you're probably thinking, I just don't know if this is a good idea, is because you aren't maybe seeing a return on your investment, which is making you think, why would I waste my time and energy? Okay. Now, for those of you that not only want our social media manager job description, definitely say that in the chat. But for those of you who want to go even deeper, the month of July in our Well Oiled Operations program, we are diving in deep to our marketing machine. If you want to know how we're making money from our social media, what we're doing, how does it produce us leads, how does it get us customers, we are literally pulling back the curtain and sharing every one of our systems of how we are doing that. So it sparked because some of our powerhouses in our mastermind were like, can Bella come in? Can Bella share with us what she's doing? Can she do a masterclass or something? So we basically went in and we grabbed a lot of the systems that Bella is doing. And not only do I have Bella on my team now, but I have other VAs. So I have somebody that edits the videos and I have somebody that does graphic design, right? Again, it's like, why would I spend all that money? Because we are making way more than what I'm spending on our team, right? But I didn't start there. You start with just a little bit. And as you start to do the right system and you return on your investment, you can say, hey, I know you're only doing 5 hours, but do you think you have time to do 10? Right? Or do you want to come on part-time or do you want to come on full-time? Right? And as you start to get it to work, you scale. I don't love when consultants try to pitch you on this like idea of, well, okay, we're going to work together for 12 months. And then in 12 months, you're going to see XYZ. You're like, I have to wait a year to get results. When you are doing social media correctly with the right messaging, right? When you have the data to see what already worked and you kind of get to cheat with having your information, right? And put out some quality content that people are excited about, you will get people to respond immediately, right? We will put out something on Instagram today that will prompt somebody to start a conversation with us, that will prompt somebody to say, can you tell me more about the Powerhouse Mastermind? That will lead them into our sales funnel, right? When you have the right information, when you have the right strategy, the problem is it's work and you already have a lot of work on your plate. I work with so many small business owners, and when they come to me, they're working crazy hours. They're working 7 days a week. They're putting in 60 hours a week, right? And our goal is to get you to get that number down, right? I always say like we're going to first get to a normal working week of like 40 hours, and then you can choose to go even lower from there. But we want to get your time down. The only way we get your time down is by putting systems into place, systems first, okay? And then getting somebody to work that system. So if you just hire a social media manager, like, oh, Stacy said I have to hire, and here we go, but you don't have the system, you're going to be missing a key piece of how to get money to pay for that person. Okay. The system will generate the revenue. The system will help you get an ROI. So think about this. Some of you listening have a social media manager. You're like, I don't get it. I did what she said. I have one. It's not working. Do they have a system? Do you have a predictable way of getting leads every day? Okay. These are things you need to be thinking about. All right. Right now, I can honestly say we have ways to get leads every day from our organic traffic. We are taking our best organic traffic, going to paid traffic, and testing those to see where we want to spend a little bit more money on, not just time, but money to go even faster. Okay. This is how you scale. This is how you scale. It sounds so simple, but not many people will do it. I can share this with my biggest competitors and they still won't do it. All right. So take the time, learn the system, and hire somebody on your team to help you implement it. And you get yourself out of social media management. Okay. If you want to see our social media manager job description, type in SMM below anywhere you're watching this, or comment on Instagram, DM me on Instagram, SMM, in case you're listening on the podcast. We will make sure to get that over to you. All right, everyone, have a great week. If you are not following me on Instagram, make sure to do so because next week we'll have tons of stories for our Powerhouse Mastermind. You can see what it entails, what the retreats look like. It's a pretty amazing week. We have 2 back-to-back events that we're going to be doing. So we'll have our Powerhouse, and then we'll have our well-oiled right after them. So we've got an incredible week ahead. Go follow us on Instagram at Stacy Tuschel. You'll see everything there. All right, everyone, have a phenomenal rest of your week. Bye, guys.